I think that it starts strong, it finishes super weak. The concept at best is spotty, and that is partially made up for with solid features, extravagant, amazing, high quality instrumentals. But overall, in my opinion, to put this album in a word, overrated. I am feeling a strong 5 to a light 6.
On paper, what Mac is trying to do should work, should be fantastic. But what he actually comes through with on this album is just too blasé for words. I'm feeling a light to decent 3. I can't really see myself returning to much on this album. I'm feeling like a strong 3 to a light 4 on this.
This album, in a word, is incredibly middlebrow. I'm feeling a light to decent 5 on Yeezus. How did Travis lose his drive and his ability to put together a solidly built song within the span of a year? Maybe he's grown complacent. I'm just not really sure. I'm feeling a strong 2 to a light 3. Bring funnier bars, more antics, more chaos, more toxicity, more personality, and I can only hope that she finds a way to leapfrog what she's done here down the road when she drops more stuff. I'm feeling a decent to strong 8. The lyrics are subpar, occasionally laughable, the singing is mediocre, the rapping is just average, the instrumentals are bland, the whole thing is steeped in just like this pitiful angst, and to top it all off, this album is essentially the musical equivalent of this shirt. You laugh at me because I'm different, I laugh at you because you're all the same. I'm feeling a decent 2 on this thing. It's just that after having been toyed with, I was given an album that I thought was really great. Can't really say that that happened in this case. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this thing. But most of this album is just a crapshoot, which is why I feel a strong 3 to a light 4 on it. Drake really wanted to put together some cringeworthy lines on this thing, but I'm going to stop here or else I'll just go on about this record forever. I'm feeling a decent strong 4. For Playboi Carti himself to expound upon these themes on a future record, which hopefully ends up coming out sooner rather than later. Feeling a decent 2 strong 5 on this one, and even though it flows kind of like a compilation, which in a lot of respects it sort of is, there are more hits than misses here. I'm feeling a light to decent 7, but instead we got like a few weird scrawled diary entries that are barely legible, and a weird track about folding clothes. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7, but I feel like the more commercial projects I hear from J. Cole, the question of what makes him special becomes harder to answer. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6. It just seems like Drake's insecurity is driving him to make all of these experimental tracks, all of these more aggressive tracks where he just constantly sounds silly. I'm feeling a light 5 on this album, who is way too jittery and unfocused to drop some lines that would really sort of widen some eyes and surprise some people when it comes to some of the serious topics that he attempts to tackle on some of these tracks. Overall, I'm feeling a decent to strong 6 on this tape. Sort of cocky, violent, blunt, blowing immaturity that a lot of Odd Future releases do, just maybe with a bit more talent and focus. I did like this thing, I just think it's too underwhelming and full of potholes for me to be completely enamored with it. Again, I like Chief Keef's sound, I love the singles on this LP. I mean, some of the catchiest and most memorable songs of 2012, up there with some of the most notable songs in trap music, period. But as an entire experience, this LP is really one-dimensional, it's repetitive, it's not an enjoyable listen from front to back. I'm kind of feeling a strong 3 to a light 4 on this thing. For me, Take Care as it currently is just a steak with way too much fat in it that you've got to cut around to get to the good stuff. Overall, I do consider this album to be growth for Drake though, especially considering that I liked this much more than his last album. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7. So even though it's still pretty early in the year, I have listened to a lot more albums in 2020 than I've actually reviewed, and still, My Turn is one of the most uninspired and mind-numbing listens I've had thus far. This Lil Baby record, it's not good. I, however, just thought some moments were really catchy. I thought a lot of the instrumentals were very sweet, and I thought that it bordered on being an interesting listen from the standpoint of, whoa, this is a really druggy, just thick, hazy, intoxicating record. Beyond that, I don't really think Future has much of anything going on this record. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6.
This thing, despite its personality flaws, does a great job of fusing hip-hop with rock and electronics and pop music. We're only going to see more fusions like this in the future. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this thing.
You know, just some records that have more substance over style would be nice. Or better performances, songwriting that's actually catchy, mixing that's legitimately good. You know, maybe it doesn't just sound like a bass-boosted YouTube poop, but I don't know. Maybe that's too much to ask. I'm feeling a decent 3 on this one.